Hello everyone, welcome to the reading. This reading will be about OffSet and TakeOff. So I'm going to be picking up just like some general energies starting off, and then I'm going to get into the deep stuff. But let's see what pops up, what happens, you know what I mean? We're already in December, late into December. It's almost January. So I think it's a good time to see what like pops up in the energies. Let me see though, how is OffSet doing? Like since the whole TakeOff ordeal, what can we see? What's going on with his vibe? What's happening with his energy? Ah, shit. I'm getting some sinister vibes, guys. I ain't gonna lie. Ah, damn. So, I mean, I'm getting shady actions, right? Shady situations. This is actually the Osho Zen tarot, and this is actually the person that the deck is named after. This guy was a spiritual dude, but he was very deceitful and he was involved in shady shit. You know, personally, I think he's cool, like as a person, like, you know what I mean? I vibe with him, like I seen how he operate. He's kind of like real and funny, so I can appreciate that. But he was a bit of a shady figure, right? And the fact that this card came out sideways, what that's indicating to me is operating on the shady side of the fence. There are some shady situations that went down, you know what I mean, with this whole TakeOff situation. I'm not saying this to be salacious. This is just a vibe I'm picking up intuitively for the people who are new to my channel. But the vibe that I'm picking up on is like shady dealings, shady happenings. Not just that, it's causing burden for him. He's definitely dealing with burden. You know, I'm going to look and ask deep questions, but this is just the vibe that I'm seeing. Let's see what else happens. Alright, so this is related to the burden as well. Oh, damn. Being selfish, regrets. Not just that, there was a payout. I'm seeing a payout. So, I mean, it's unfortunate, but what I'm seeing thus far is there's some regrets because of shady situations, guys. Very shady energies, right? Because I'm getting multiple messages right now, and the vibe that I'm getting is that there was regret as far as things that went down with their relationship. Not just that, there's also regret regarding how things went after TakeOff's death is what I'm seeing. Not just that, there was some money exchanged in this whole situation. Not just that, this is also regret for being selfish is what I'm seeing. So very interesting, you know what I mean? But it's deep though, because this isn't something that kind of just happened, right? You know how like sometimes a person might act out of character and might find themselves in an unfortunate situation and have regret. This person knew what they were doing. So I mean, oh damn, it's giving us a deep message. So let's look deeper. There's a lot of hidden things going on. I'm so shocked. I'm so shocked, right? Because I haven't seen any readers, sort of just like tarot reading on this whole situation, because I didn't want like their vibe to be with my shit. So I can only assume like what people were saying. But what I'm seeing with this is hidden things, suppression. Not just that, this whole situation with TakeOff's death was fated with this 10 being here. 10 speaks of a completion. It speaks of a fated happening, a fated situation. So what I'm seeing thus far is that this guy is in his head. He's in his head because he was shady. He was being a shady person. You know what I mean? Shady vibes, shady energy. Not just that, it's causing burden for him. He's in the vibe of regret. Very sad, very unfortunate, but at the same time, I don't know how, but this is showing me he has a come up because of this. So I don't know, like, you know, like what was exchanged. I'm seeing money, but like, I don't know, like if it's like, I don't know, like a life insurance. I don't know, you know, there's a lot of things that's hidden because this behind the scenes shit that's being suppressed. It's a lot going on, and this guy's in his head. So, I mean, that's what I'm seeing thus far. Let's see. What else can we see with this deck, actually? Very fascinating to me. Very fascinating. This guy, right? This keeper of spells. This guy is a keeper of secrets. Not just that. This card is sideways. So this is deep, right? Because this person is like a magician, basically. Right? So there's a lot of weirdness going on, guys. Like, I don't even know what to say, because I know you guys are just like, oh, he's being extra, but you see I shuffled and all of that. These cards are coming out themselves, you know what I mean? So it's kind of deep. So this is like straying into tough territory, you know what I mean? Because this isn't a good look for OffSet. Because what I'm seeing is that this guy, he has secrets. You know what I mean? This guy, he definitely has secrets. Not just that, there was some sort of just like witchcraft and shit going on, is what I'm seeing. Shady dealings. Shady rituals. Not looking too good. What else can we see? This is tough. Alright. The fact that it landed on this side is showing me that these cards, whatever they might be, it has shady energy with it. There's shady energy attached to it. So this has to do with the burden. He's wounded. He is definitely wounded. This is energies of being wounded. This Nine of Wands. You know what I mean? It speaks of coming out some shit. But he didn't come out of it well. You know what I mean? That's why he has like a lot of burdens and shit. I'm gonna be real. I'm getting like spiritual energy. I'm getting like witchcraft. You know what I mean? That's the only way I can put it so people can understand it. I'm seeing rituals. I'm seeing some deep things right now. And it left him damaged. You know, it's kind of just like when you're involved in some dark things, because I'm seeing some dark energies. These are dark energies. These aren't good energies. Not just that. This is highly suspect energies because the cards are sideways. You guys know what I say in my readings about sideways cards. So this left him with some sort of like recoil. You know, like when you fire, like, you know what I mean, a gun and shit, and you get some recoil. That's what I'm seeing. He's taking some damage. Because the shit that he was involved in just wasn't right. He has anger though. This is definitely energy of anger. Energy of frustration. Energy of regret. So this burden is causing a ton of regret. He has a ton of regret. He's angry and he's in his emotions. You see how this water's all bubbly and shit? There's energies that's simmering with this. So I'm seeing that he's very frustrated, very upset. Not just that, the Three of Wands represents planning. Shady plans. He was involved in shady plans. So, I mean, you know, read in between the lines. Let me just say also that this is all allegedly and for entertainment purposes only. I have to say that because of this, you know, this is YouTube and all. But, he did it for movement. He did it for movement, swift movement. So, this is looking kind of not right. I'm gonna be real because it's showing me witchcraft. It's showing me being shady. Not just that, this like shady planning and shit. It has to do with movement. He wanted movement. He wanted things to happen. That's why he was getting involved in this dark sort of spell work is what I'm seeing. What else can we see? This Meister energy, you know, Meister is shady, like, you know. So let's see. The Wheel of Fortune. Ah, damn. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse. I love when the cards pop up and just like, or pop out rather, and show us like what went down. Because he did this for fortune, guys. This shady dealings, this shady happening, it was for fortune. This OffSet, he's not innocent. I'm gonna call it as it is. You know what I mean? This isn't an innocent dude. This guy, he was definitely involved in some shit. He was definitely involved in some shit. I don't know why. I'm getting whispers, right? It's telling me grave magic. Like, as soon as I put my hand on this side, it was telling me grave magic. This guy, he's involved in some grave magic. Some grave spell work, right? All for the Wheel of Fortune. All for the money. For greed. Being a Meister. Being a thief. But the sad part about this is, it's not going to do what he wanted to do, you know? Like, people think, like, you know, when you get involved in certain magic and spell work, like love spells and so forth, you know, I mean, yeah, it might work for some people, but there's a lot of recoil. You know what I mean? Definitely watch my Selena Gomez readings, because it kind of exposed her situation. You know, there's recoil with energies when you play with things, right? Like, you know, not everyone is meant to play with magic, and you know, the outcome is kind of like chemistry. It's not what you always expect is going to happen. So what I'm saying is that he did this for like the Wheel of Fortune, you know, for positivity, but it's just bringing negativity in his life. So despite whatever happens, whether this guy blows up, you know what I mean, and he's like just the greatest rapper, because he's not that at this moment in time, but let's just say that ends up happening, right? This is indicating to me a lack of happiness, a lack of fortune. So despite whatever's being like shown, it isn't what it is. That this guy, he's unhappy. He's unhappy. Not just that. I'm seeing that he's kind of just like, I don't know, I'm kind of getting like the devil energy. Like with being bound, restrictions. This guy, he put a lot of restrictions on himself, his energy, and his family. That's what I'm seeing. Let's see with this suppression. What else can we see? I'm going to be asking questions. All right, so this suppression as well is related to this slot. This slot had to do, and the card is sideways, so it's shady. But this also has to do with the burden, you know, with him being wounded, him being upset, shady plans, wanting quick movement. So let's see what pops up. This is deep. This is deep as hell, right? Because this is kind of like, this is deep magic. This is deep spell work. I gotta be honest. This is some deep ass spell work. A harp, it relates towards music. Not just that. It has to do with mind control. You know what I mean? It has to do with people's opinions, what people believe. There's a sort of energy where, I don't even know how to explain this because this is deep. It's kind of just like when you do a ritual, right? And things aren't what they seem, but people's emotions and energies are being fed off of. That's what I'm seeing. This is a whole event here. This whole thing with the whole like TakeOff and all of that, it's deep. It's not what people seem. Not just that, it has to do with draining people's energies, people perceptions is what I'm seeing with this harp. It's a shady energy, right? And it also relates towards music. So what I'm seeing is this shadiness, this shady sort of just like dealings and shit that he's involved in, it relates towards his music. Him wanting his music to take off. That's like a pun, right? But this dude, he wanted his music to take off. His music career to take off is what I'm seeing. Not just that. It's a whole ceremony of manipulation, of tapping into people's energy, of draining their energy. It's a lot going on here. And this has to do with the suppression, right? Even though it fell on this side because it relates to his music. This has to do with his music. And this is deep because if you look at these sort of roots, it's a lot of roots that were planted, right? Because I did it for each slot. So this, even though it fell here, it was meant for this slot. Roots were being planted, y'all, is what I'm seeing. You know what I mean? This is a whole operation. Yeah, this person's in torment, but this isn't a one-man show. So what's being shown to me is, even though it's one guy here, right? But this wasn't created by one guy. Like, this is a whole operation. That's the vibe I'm getting. So this is a whole ritual, you know what I mean, that this OffSet was involved in. You know, not just that he was shady. He was involved in some shady things. Not just that, they're planting roots. You know, roots aren't a good thing. Like when we were talking about like negative magic and shit. So it's showing me that some negative roots were being planted. Not just that, this guy, he's dealing with some serious depression, oppression, suppression. He's dealing with a lot. Not just that, he knows the truth of what happened. But I mean, goddamn, right? Now I'm going to be asking, like, I guess it's kind of a stupid question, but let me ask anyway. Like, did he love TakeOff? So let's see. Actually, before I get into that question, let me see. Were OffSet and TakeOff like in communication before TakeOff's death? So let's see. What can we see regarding that? Was OffSet and TakeOff in communication before the whole death happened and all of that? The ritual of misery and death and shit. What can we see? Alright. Sideways card, shady energy. So the energies that I'm getting, that's like radiating from the deck right now to me, is shady energy. This is deep, right? It's an on and off connection is what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing. It's kind of just like, they seen the opportunities and shit, right? They definitely seen like opportunities, right? Not just that, but what I'm getting is TakeOff seen success. He's seen success and opportunities, right? That was both of their vibe. They both seen opportunity. They both were coming together. Like, yo, like, let's try to make things happen. I'm seeing that there was distance, right? But there were communication. It was kind of just like, yo, man, we should do this project. We should be getting involved in this. That's the vibe that I'm seeing. That they were both kind of just like hopeful about shit. But this is a real shady vibe, right? Because this is OffSet energy. It's kind of just like waiting for an opportunity, waiting for an accident. That's what I'm seeing. Waiting for strife. That was his vibe. TakeOff situation was, he's seen the positivities of like, positivity of what could have been. I know it sounds corny as hell, but this is just the energy of what's coming to me. So it is what it is. You know, this is actually the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands represent success. TakeOff seen success, but it was nothing but misery. Nothing but challenges. Not just that. It left OffSet with burden. It definitely left OffSet with burden. That's how this shit ended. So what I'm seeing is that, yeah, there was communication. It was distance. So this isn't kind of just like energies like where they were just hanging out and chilling together. This is kind of like in passing energy. That's what I'm seeing, in passing. It's kind of just like, let's just say like if you're at the same event, then you kind of just like speak to each other. This is kind of just like you're on the phone type shit. This is kind of like where, like, let's just say, like, you have mutual friends, mutual family members, you guys kind of just like relay messages to each other that way. That's what I'm seeing. But I mean, it ended in tragedy and burden. And this bridge is very significant, right? You know, it's an esoteric message with this bridge. You know what I mean? It's deep because it's showing me it's kind of just like their names get confusing, having to repeat it, like OffSet, TakeOff, OffSet, because I usually don't say their names. So it's kind of just like funny. I gotta like remember who's who. But OffSet is trying to have like a water under the bridge situation, right? And it's deep because you see this little creature here that can be like a demon or something. This spirit of the forest, this creature, this entity. It doesn't look like the best. It's kind of just like water under the bridge. It's kind of just like trying to make things less than what it is. But you see he's carrying all this weight. He's carrying all these dead branches to light a fire. So it's kind of just like trying to make something come from death. It's the same energy, the same message. It's kind of just like trying to have shit go down, you know. And this is really sad because what I'm seeing as far as this TakeOff dude, he really was hopeful. That's what I'm seeing. He was really hopeful, you know what I mean? But he had a lot of shady people around him. That's what I'm seeing. A lot of shady people. And someone was really sinister, like some serious betrayal. But it's sad though. It's sad. But that's what I'm seeing. Now let's see, because it's showing me a lot of regret, sadness, burden. So, did OffSet ever love TakeOff? Some people be asking these sort of questions in the comment section, so be like, oh, did this person love this person? There was some jealousy with this strength in reverse that flew out. I'm definitely seeing jealousy. This Empress, it was love there. It was jealousy, but there was love there with this Empress. That's what I'm seeing. So yeah, there was love. This Wheel of Fortune popping out again. It's kind of just like a fated event when the Wheel of Fortune pops out, you know? It's kind of just like, you know, things were meant to happen. Look at this, the Fool. This is deep, right? The Fool. This new beginning, this is a huge message, guys, right? Because I was telling you, right, that it was jealousy. You know, when the strength is in reverse, it represents you not kind of just like coming to yourself, believing in yourself, looking at what other people's doing. It's an energy of insecurity, jealousy. I was telling you, right, with this Empress, that it was love there, right? But look at this, the Fool, wanting a new beginning. So it's kind of just like, even though it was love there, it was kind of just like, fuck that shit. I need a new beginning. Not just that, judgment. And this is basically in reverse. When the cards are sideways, for me, it speaks of energies basically being in reverse. It's kind of just like the same thing. But to be honest, it's kind of a little bit more different because sideways cards indicate kind of just like shady happenings, shady energies. Also, it relays messages to me. Like when I touch the card, hold the card, see it. So what I'm seeing is some bad judgment. That's what I'm seeing. Bad judgment. Not just that. It's kind of just like the Devil card with this lady in bondage. You know what I mean? Doing shady shit. Bondage. Over the Wheel of Fortune. This is bad, you know? He wanted this new beginning. It already showed early on in the reading that it had to do with his music career, his wealth, and all of that. So that's what I'm seeing. Ooh, this Ace of Daggers. Shady plans. Not just that. This dagger, it represents betrayal. You know, because the Ace of Daggers, the Ace of Swords, when it's upright, it represents kind of just like seeing things clearly, all of that, right? When it's sideways, it's shady energy. Like shady plans, shady ideas, not seeing things clearly. Backstabbing. Let's see what this last card is. Damn. The Seven of Swords. Bad strategy. A shady strategist. So let's just get to what the question was about. I was just like, did he love this guy? Yeah, he loved him. It was jealousy. The jealousy came out first. With this Empress, yeah, it was love. But he wanted that new beginning, so he came up with shady plans, shady ideas. He put bondage on himself. This judgment is not a good situation. Shady judgment, all for the Wheel of Fortune. But look at this, the Seven of Swords in reverse. The Seven of Swords is a strategist, naturally, right? But the fact that it's in reverse is shady plans, shady strategy. So, I mean, the energies, again, speak for itself. It's just repeating the same thing. This reading is very insightful, very interesting, but I don't want to make it tedious. So I'm going to leave it here. But all I'm going to say is, wow, I'm like surprised. I'm very shocked. I wasn't expecting any of this. You know what I mean? I've been busy for the past like 2 months, basically. Like, just busy as hell. You know what I mean? So like, I was just like, oh, what reading should I do? And I was just like, let me look into this TakeOff OffSet situation. This guy's definitely exposed situations. That's all I'm gonna say. Peace and abundance to everyone. Take care. And yeah.